Hey kids, so after having so many nights in a row of having difficulty doing a 7 o'clock live stream, I thought, what the heck, let me just do one here midday. I mean, I'm awake, I'm going down the ICW, it's more scenic, you guys can see more than just me sitting there in the boat in the dark. So I thought I would kind of bring you guys up to speed. This is a little bit about where I'm at. Suffice it to say, I am now south of Fort Lauderdale and still a little north of downtown Miami, going right through the heart of it, as it were. Went through a big commercial area back there. Hello, fishermen. Went through a big commercial area back there where there was a lot of cruise ships and mega yachts and all kinds of stuff. Imagine that, folks. Container ships on the ICW. Like, that's never happened before. Wow. And imagine that. Imagine those container ships might actually drop a container in the water from time to time, because you know that never happens. We never ever drop containers right next to the container ships while they're loading them. That never happens. They don't ever fall over and break and stuff. But what the hell do I know? You know, almost 1,200 miles down the ICW so far, and I find it amazing how some of these troll idiots who live in New Jersey or North Carolina or whatever have never been on the ICW, but by God, they're the authority. All I know is I've been on the ICW every day for a long time now. And yeah, here's some of the big mega yachts. There's a big mansion over there, a little McMansion. More apartment buildings over here in front of us. That's where we're headed to, down that direction in towards the Miami area. All big apartment buildings. There. Miss Lily's doing just fine. Apologize for the kind of up the nose angle here, but I'm trying to keep the phone plugged in while I do this. Doing live streams with my phone really eats my battery up quickly. So, oh, they got a neat little spiral staircase on the side of their house. A couple folks sitting out here on a bench in the corner. Little mega yacht marina back in there. Anyhow, I thought this would be more enjoyable for you guys than me just sitting down below in the dark. Come up here and do a bit of a live stream and let you guys kind of see what's going on. It's been kind of a frustrating day for me today with bridges. 4 bridges in a row. I got to them just 2 to 3 minutes after they were scheduled to be open. And they would not open late, and they just made me wait a half hour each time. So I have wasted 2 hours today just sitting there in the boat waiting for a half hour to go by, or 28 minutes or 25 minutes, whatever it was. So the bridge would open up so I could get through. The bridge tenders in and around Fort Lauderdale don't give a rat about anybody. Their owners know their schedule. Yeah, well, you know, one of the bridges kind of ticked me off, though. She did not open I was supposed to, and I got there all of 2 minutes after the hour, and she would not open. I said to her, you know, if you had opened at your normal time, considering how long it takes for them to go through their process and open, you'd have been wide open when I got here, and I could have just sailed right on through. I called and told you I was coming. You knew I was going to be here at, I think that was at 11:02. And she said, well, you're not going to make it because we are supposed to open at 11 o'clock, blah, 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 whatever. Just not being cooperative. She could have opened up at 11 o'clock. It still would have been open at 11:02. It takes them 4 or 5 minutes to get all their stuff done, to drop the gate, stop traffic, get people off the bridge. It takes them that long. So had she gone through the motions knowing I was coming, I could have gone through right. I mean, she wouldn't have had to wait 1 extra second for me, but Oh, I didn't see you at the time necessary, and yeah, right. I know I'm slow, but I'm not that slow. Anyhow, enough of a rant. My next bridge is a fixed bridge, 65-foot clearance. I'm just gonna go ahead and motor right under it, no problem at all. There's a lady over here walking her dog in a moo-moo. You can see her over there in her blue moo-moo. Her little Shih Tzu looking dog is pooping over there in the grass. She just turned around, walked away from it, and left it there. Oh well. Oh man. Big apartment buildings here. We get into Miami, a lot of these apartment buildings, and of course across the water, McMansions. Actually, these aren't really even McMansions in this area. Some of them are. Some of them are just houses on the water. Fairly normal looking stuff. Not as palatial as some I saw further north of here. But anyhow, kids, the boat's running pretty good. I had another exhaust leak. The elbow that we had fixed down in, what was that, in Virginia? That we took to the Al's welding shop and had them weld a plate on that exhaust elbow. That's leaking again. So this time I used some gasket material and 4 hose clamps and jerry-rigged up a patch over it. It's holding, it's working very well. I don't know how long it's gonna last. It only has to last about 100 miles. I mean, like, you know, 2 to 3 days, and I'm gonna be a marathon, so hopefully it'll hold together. If not, I'll put another piece of patch material in. I installed it yesterday, and it's been running all morning and holding beautifully all morning. And we're starting getting into early afternoon now, so I can smell no exhaust down inside, and it seems to be holding nicely. So we'll see. We'll keep monitoring that and see how that goes. But you know, one of the reasons I was sort of tempted to go to the outside today just to avoid all these bridges and make some miles. One of the reasons why I opted not to do that is because I just don't, my boat's just not, I don't have a high confidence level. I guess, let me put it that way. See, motoring along here, if something were to happen, I needed to stop, I could stop at a little spot like that. I could pull into a little spot like that, just slightly off the waterway here, drop the anchor, and run down below and, you know, fix whatever needs to be fixed or work on it. Even if I had to hang out there for overnight or whatever, dinging myself around to get to a store or hardware or West Marine or whatever it was. By going on the outside, if something were to pop up and create a problem, I'd be in much too deep a water to anchor, and I'd have no choice but to continue on to the next place where I could get some repairs done. So those are not apartment buildings, they're called condominiums. Yeah, Adam, I'm well aware that some of them are apartments, some of them are condos. I'm well aware of that, but you can't tell from the outside whether it's a condo or an apartment. Some of them are for rent. I know a lot of condos do rent, but I appreciate your Mr. Real Estate Expert nonsense in there. So yeah, Gary, it's been a pretty good day today. A little hot, 90 degrees down in the salon right now. So, you know, Adam to Florida, your response is just typical of the kind of nonsense that always frustrates people with trolls, you know? Yeah, they could be condos, yeah, they could be apartments. They're certainly not houses, though, are they? And I don't know if it's an apartment or a condo. I haven't looked it up. I'm not on their premises. So to me, they are apartments. Even condos are still apartments. So, well, I'm glad you know so much. Adam to Florida note that none of those are apartments. Not a single one of these could possibly be. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous comment. And condos may be the bread and butter here in this part of Miami. That's fine. They are not the bread and butter down in Marathon where I'm going to be working. They certainly were not the bread and butter up in Alaska or in Montana or in Washington or in New York before that. So, but I'm glad you're an expert, Adam. Are you a licensed realtor? How many years experience do you have? Yeah, on my end, I'm only seeing 3 people. That's why I was wondering if anybody could hear me. Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't see your name. I think it says Jason. It's kind of bright and sunny out here, and it makes it a little difficult for me to see the chat. But I think it said Jason there. Yeah, we can see you. This is not my normal scheduled live stream. I just thought I would jump in and do one here in the middle of the day. So, yeah, there's no way of knowing whether those are condos or apartments unless you're actually inside of one. And even then, even if they are condos, they can be rented out and be apartments. Some of them can, some of them can't. Different buildings, different developments have different rules. A lot of the condos are managed by a management team, so that's why you're educating me, huh? Yeah, good luck with that. Oh, man. Huh. This house has got some interesting artwork on the outside. Looks like something out of the 1970s, 60s maybe. 50s or 60s. Some kind of little metalwork hanging down. Kind of interesting. Yeah, Kenneth, some of them may be timeshares. You know, the thing of it is, guys, they're all in that same class. They're certainly not homes, so they are apartment buildings. Whether they're condos or apartments or timeshares, it still doesn't matter. They are buildings full of apartments that can be either a timeshare or a condo or an whatever. So, but that's, we don't need educated, I guess. Okay, so this is the fixed bridge I'm approaching right now. Getting ready to go underneath it. This one has a 65-foot clearance. Now I am 45 feet to the top of my antenna. And I went under a bridge today that was 50 feet clearance. And it did make me a little nervous. We're being passed here. Hello. Some guy on a little Mako fishing boat, so maybe a commune. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think there's too many communes here in South Florida, but you never can tell. We're in a no-wake manatee area right now, but we're about to exit that. That's why this Mako is going so slow going by me. As we pass underneath this bridge, we're exiting the manatee zone. Dog, get your foot off that. There you go. She's on my power cord. Yeah, Kenneth, she's not too thrilled about South Florida. It's hot down here for her. She's going through another shedding period right now, so she's knocking a lot more hair off again. You know, normally this time of year she'd be growing her winter coat in. So parts of her body are saying, hey, we need to put on a winter coat, but it's hot as hell here. So there you go, Jeff. It's a big damn building. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of big damn buildings. You see them all over in here. Whole bunch of them. Whether you want to get into the semantics of calling them a condo or an apartment or whatever. Okay, you know, Adam, we're just gonna nip that argument right in the butt. So yes, they're called seawalls, but a shear wall is one that's straight up and down and not one at an angle. But you know, what the hell, you know so much about it. So I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood to argue with anybody right now. You want to be argumentative, you can go someplace else. This is my channel, my live stream, and I like to enjoy it. So all right, kids, so we are now pulling out into the bay. Much bigger, wide open body of water, as you can see. We're getting into the greater Miami area. I believe this is the very north end of Biscayne Bay. So we're at the very north end of what I believe they refer to as Biscayne Bay. So, and from here we're just continuing to head south. I am hoping, and I'm not having good success because of being delayed at so many bridges, I am hoping that I can make my way south of Miami today. Right now it's not looking too good, although if I could catch all the rest of the bridges, if they could all open just as I approach them, then I could be south of Miami by 5:30 tonight. So far, I've had zero luck doing that. I've hit every bridge just about a minute or two or five after they were scheduled to open, and so they won't open. And so they close up, and then that's just it. You know, there you are. So my navionics seems to be off slightly today. It's telling me that I should be more to the east, and yet the navigational beacon that I'm looking at is just straight in front of me. So it seems like it's been off just a half a kilter today for some reason. I just updated the operating system on that iPad. Maybe I should update navionics again, although I updated it not that long ago. Probably should update it again. So anyhow, oh man, beautiful out here today, guys. It was raining on us a little bit ago. I didn't mind it a bit. It cooled everything off. It made everything damp and wet on the boat. Of course, got me all wet. But it really cooled everything down a little bit. The dog did appreciate that, so that was kind of cool. You know, the other nice thing about doing a live stream midday like this is there's less troll activity. I imagine if I do it more often, they're going to figure it out and get on here trying to be trollish. Kind of like Adam to Florida was being trollish, but right now there's no trolls. And for that matter, I really can't see the chat at all anymore, so we're going to lose our interconnection kind of communication here because it's so bright out here. I can't really see anything. Yeah, I really can't see anything in the chat, so apologies for that, kids. Anyhow, as you can hear from listening to the engine operator, I don't have the generator running right now, so you just hear my ferryman cranking away. She's running beautifully, just smooth as silk. I am not getting any engine exhaust inside the salon, so my exhaust manifold patch and hose clamp seems to be doing its job. I think once I get down to Marathon, I'm going to see if I can't find an exact replacement for that, or maybe even have a muffler shop make one up for me. Be kind of spendy to do that, but just get a whole new exhaust pipe built for the boat so I can get a proper replacement on that. I still have to find the fitting for the fuel return line to the fuel tank. It's working perfectly just the way it is, but I'd much rather have the right fitting in there and have a hose clamp on that. So that's another job I got to work on. And then of course I'm still concerned about the vibration coming off the engine affecting the drive line, although I have to admit the vibration on the boat seems to be less than what it used to be. And so taking that vibration piece out doesn't appear like it's had any bearing in increasing or decreasing the vibration level on the boat at all. So, I don't know, we'll see how that goes. This is sort of an interesting part of the lagoon right here. I guess where I'm at, it's pretty deep all around me, and yet surprisingly there's no boats anchored in here. I see some boats, you know, and someone slips off to the side, but nobody anchored here in the middle. It was some of the issues. It seems like for $2,000 you got a decent boat there. Oh yeah, Kenneth, I can't complain, man. I'm not complaining at all. So even with a few minor issues, you know, this old ferryman has gotten me, what are we're I don't even remember. I mean, we're getting to the point where we're getting close to, I guess, hitting 3,000 miles. So that was a long ways, you know. I mean, it was about 1,000 miles in Port Washington. The ICW was another 1,200. And then I don't know what it was from Port Washington around Manhattan, around New Jersey, up to Delaware, across the canal and down the Chesapeake. But, you know, probably another 500 miles there, 600 miles. So we're knocking on the door of 3,000 miles. We've been underway since May. So May, June, July, August, September, October, and now into November. 7 months on the go on a $2,000 boat. That's a hell of a deal, kids. I don't care who you are. You know, I don't care who you are. 7 months out on this boat, motoring along with the very minor repairs that I've had to do. Gotten almost 3,000 miles, traveled down the entire length pretty much of the East Coast of the United States. I can't complain. Not going to. Not going to. I'm happy. So one thing I am interested to see, and I'm very pleased to notice here, but I'm going to show this, turn the phone around and look at it so you can see it. You see those giant cranes over there on the top of those buildings? That's an economic indicator to us realtors. Anytime you see cranes on buildings, that's new construction. That means there's confidence. There's confidence in the market. People are building on. I noticed a lot of these big mansions coming down the ICW. Lily, get off that. I noticed a lot of these big mansions coming down the ICW. There's a lot of new construction going on. A lot of housing starts. Housing starts is a major economic indicator for the United States. A harbinger of good economic times to come. So I guess what I'm saying is, by looking at all the new construction going on down here in South Florida, there's a lot of optimism in the market, a lot of positive thinking. That's a good sign. That's a real good sign. Let's hope that continues. A couple folks out here in a two-man kayak. Looks like a fun way to spend an afternoon. They were somewhat in time with each other. Now they're kind of out of time, but very few people have traveled that kind of distance in any kind of boat. You are ahead of the curve. Well, thanks, Kenneth. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people that have ever made that kind of a journey. I mean, Ohio to Florida by boat. Who'd have thunk it, huh? Who'd have thunk it? Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug on this. We're going to hit about a half hour, which is what I was kind of hoping to do out here. You can see there's a whole row of, looks like cookie cutter McMansions. They all look very similar to one another there along the coast, and then all those big apartment buildings slash condos slash whatever behind them. So it's interesting that they have all the McMansions right on the water and then all the big buildings up behind that. So I guess I have to make a turn coming up here. All right, kids, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little bit of South Florida from the water. at the very, very north end of Biscayne Bay. Actually, I'm not even sure this is Biscayne Bay at this point, but it should be. It's all kind of more open area to Biscayne Bay, but they may call it something else. We're making miles, making distance. So, hello, Intrepid, how you doing? Typical kind of boat that I see go by me all the time out here. Little sport fishermen and stuff. So, uh-oh, I got another bridge here. I got to get on the radio and talk to the bridge, see if I'm going to be able to go right through or am I going to have to wait. So, all right, kids, we'll have more for you later. Remember, be good, be careful, take good care of each other. And in the description down below, there's links to my PayPal if you can contribute to the adventure. All funds are greatly needed right now. So, thanks, kids. We'll have more for you later. Bye.